About 18 years ago, I came to a very shocking, startling discovery. I was working like crazy as an internist after doing 12 years as an emergency room doctor. So I opened a practice, and I realized that a level 2, they didn't teach me this in medical school, but I don't remember doing a financial analysis business plan anywhere in medical school. And I realized that for a level 2, which is supposed to be an hour and a half, 2-hour consultation, at least an hour consultation on an 80-year-old person taking 10 medicines with 3 organs failing, I was going to be paid $160 on a good day. And out of that, I had to pay 10% of it, so $20-30 goes off to whoever collects the money for me. And sometimes it doesn't get paid, so that cuts it down. I don't get the paperwork right, and so the 160 gets cut to $100 or $80. So on the average, I'm going to collect $120 for 2 hours, out of which I have to pay 10% of that to the person who collects the money. And if you're an efficient primary care doctor, half of your income is overhead. So that leaves me with about $60 for an hour and a half to 2 hours work, which is less than the massage therapist gets paid down the street from my office at the Marriott Hotel after a 6-month class. And she doesn't have to wake up at night to the phone ringing. I get paid less by far than it costs to rent a jet ski for an hour at the beach. And when I realized that, the math didn't work. That basically the hard, cold truth was that I couldn't really make a living taking care of sick people. I needed other tricks. So if you're an internist, you know what you do. You bill for reading the EKG, and you're billing for your nurse doing immunizations. And you're basically scrambling for money because you're losing money taking care of sick people. And so when I reached that conclusion, simultaneously with becoming a single father of 3 sons, I thought, wow, about the time I break even, if I'm lucky on a good day, I'm breaking even about the time, this has a happy ending by the way, about the time the kids get out of school. So I just said, I quit. I just quit. I'm going to do clinical trials because that's part of how I was supporting my practice. And resurrect this thing on a cash basis, maybe. So I basically crumbled up the whole thing, threw it away, and tried to draw another picture for my life. And out of that crumbling it up and redrawing the picture of my life, I learned some lessons that were painful for me, but gave me a heart for doctors who were scrambling for money. And it gave me, more importantly, some techniques and some ideas for pulling it off in such a way that you actually take better care of patients. And there's 3 things I want you to know. I'm going to teach you right now. I'm just going to tell you right now. Not teach you later when you come see me. Not teach you later when you read something on the website. Teach you right now in this video 3 important things if you want to tell insurance to kiss off. And by the way, insurance is your pimp, right? Here's your pimp talking to you. Listen, bitch, I'm your pimp, and we have these tricks called patience, but they're not going to pay you, my prostitute. They're going to pay your pimp daddy, Blue Cross Blue Shield. And I'll decide when, if, and how much you get paid. Maybe 2 or 3 months from now, if you don't like it, I'm going to kick you to the curb because better looking, harder working bitches are coming out of medical school every year. That's your pimp daddy talking to you. And when I learned how to, within 3 years, bring my income up and then eventually get to where I don't have to even see patients. Patients could be a hobby and I could see them for free. Out of doing that, I learned a few lessons. So here's 3 lessons for you. Number 1, just know that you can, this isn't one of the lessons, but let's just assume that if you're going to do medicine with your pimp, you can't really do good medicine and pay your bills. You have to do other tricks to pay for your habit of being a healer. And so first just realize this is the truth. Then if you want to fix that, this is the good part because it means patients actually get better in wonderful ways. that if you want people to pay you money such that you can actually do medicine for free, it means you have to become very, very good at something, so good that people will pay you for something that's better than what they can get for their insurance. So you can still do the other stuff if you want. Immunizations, routine exams, colonoscopies, whatever your thing is. But if you want people to pay you money, it means you have to be very, very good at something that they cannot get, which means that probably you're taking care of another doctor's problem patient. You're taking the patient that the guy down the street or the woman down the street is having trouble getting well, and you're getting them well. That's a good thing. So first you need something that people will pay you money for. Now you can still do this thing for free. And I do, and so will you, if you decide to do this and actually take money for your services. And the thing is, doctors are comparing their services to a copay. But compare your services to other things out there. $160 for 2 hours of your time to figure out some life-threatening disease and make a diagnosis and a prescription, and you're comparing that's less than renting a jet ski for an hour at the beach. So if you want to do this for free, you can, but if you want to be paid, you have to be very, very good at something. So you need the something. That's the first thing. And this means specialty on top of specialty. So this doesn't mean gynecologist. It means the best person in the world for dyspareunia. Or you know how to make urinary incontinence go away better or as well as any person on this planet. That degree of expertise. Second thing is, you need to let the world know. Now, don't be afraid of this, but some people call that marketing. But basically, it is not your patient's responsibility to know how good you are at this thing. It's your responsibility to let them know and to teach them and help them figure out what you're able to do and bring them to your office. And it has to be real, and you have to stand behind it. For every penny that anybody's ever given me for medicine, they were either happy with what I did or I didn't keep the penny, I gave it back to them. You have to be excellent, you have to be ethical, you have to not keep money when people don't get better. So, but you can't expect people to read your mind or somehow just omnisciently know what's out there on the planet and find you. So you have to know how to teach people how to do that in such a way it doesn't cost you a lot of money or time, so that you can now have a system for collecting the money. You have to somehow get this money in an ethical way and have people travel to see you, whether it's from across the street or from across the planet, to have this thing done. And that's the system. You need a thing of expertise. You have to become the expert's expert at something that insurance has decided not to pay for. Now here's the good news. This thing is often there in plain sight and often very, very, very well researched. For example, we know that a VO2 max correlates better with your risk of heart attack than even having diabetes or being a smoker. VO2 max or anaerobic threshold predicts your risk of heart attack. The only thing that beats it is a previous heart attack. But there's no drug to prescribe. But because of this, you have personal trainers who are taking home more per hour for cash, teaching people how to increase their aerobic capacity, or for people who can afford that thing. Okay? Cooper Clinic, of course, was first to jump on this with their cash executive profiles and executive evaluations and treatment of that thing, anaerobic threshold or VO2 max. So my point is that there's a lot of well-known, very well-researched stuff that insurance doesn't pay for, that's easy picking, that is not hokey, very strong science, that you just decide to be good at it, and then you let the world know about it, and then a system for collecting the money. Here's what will not work, is you take your present population of patients, and when people come into your office, somehow sit there and try to explain to them one at a time what you're capable of doing. You will not have enough time to do the thing. Okay, so there's a decision to choose the thing. Then, and there's so much out there that's so well researched. It's the epitome, it's the absolute perfect cartoon of the tail wagging the dog to decide insurance decides, your pimp decides what is good for people. That is so backwards. Doctors decide and science decides what gets people well, not Blue Cross Pimp Shield. It's you. You decide what gets people well. Now, but what people will say, well, insurance doesn't pay for it, it must not be good. Insurance doesn't buy your New Balance shoes. It doesn't pay for your prescription to the gym or the YMCA or the personal trainer who gets you off the couch and has you do 21 miles a week, which has been proven to decrease your risk of heart attack more than any diabetes or blood pressure medicine on the planet, called literally, quote, the magic bullet in the New England Journal. Okay? But because insurance doesn't buy New Balance shoes, somehow that's not as good as a beta blocker. Backwards. Flip it on its end. Decide. You're going to decide. You be the expert. You choose what insurance doesn't pay for that actually works by actually going to the literature with a discerning mind that's not looking at the literature through the filter of insurance. Then you choose the thing that you decide you love to do that's going to be the pinnacle of what you do for the planet, that people will fly from around the world to have you do that thing. Then you pick it, you become good at it. Then you create a system for letting people know about it, and that collects the money in cash, check, or credit card, and they come in your office and you make so much freaking money that if you want to go do this thing for free, or make rounds at the nursing home for free, or go to the local Salvation Army for free, which I have done and you will do, you can do that and still pay your card payment and send your kids to college. That's what I want to teach you. Now, I'm not going to teach you the procedures. I will give you a menu to choose from that fulfills this. But in my upcoming workshop, in one day, we go through the system. I teach you how to do this thing. You can fill in the blank with whatever the thing is you choose to do. I'll give you a menu to pick from. I'll teach you how to teach the world that you're good at it without spending a lot of money. I'll teach you how to collect the money. Then you pick the thing and you go do the thing, and in a few years you will kiss your pimp goodbye as well, and your income will go up, you'll sleep more, and you'll see your children more, and you'll kiss your spouse more. So I hope to see you at this upcoming workshop. I have a passion for this because I have lain in bed at night and wondered, how am I going to feed my children in the bedroom next door without my pimp? And I figured it out, and I did it, and I will teach you how to do it if you will just get out of your chair and get in a plane or a car and come see me. Hope to see you there.